What happened in the news is there was this big article. As some of you know, how many have seen my Shroud of Turin presentation? Okay, about half of you. All right. This is a presentation I've been doing for years. I've been a student of the Shroud of Turin since 1978. And I've been doing presentations, I think, since like 1979 or 1980. So it's quite a number of years that I've been talking about this. And in the news, there's this big article saying that Shroud is a fake. Again, I mean, we've had these articles before, but every news agency picked this up. There's this Italian scientist who came up with a way to reproduce it. Therefore, it doesn't show evidence of the resurrection, and it's invalid. Well, I can't let that slide. I'm compelled to talk about it again because half of the population thinks it's a forgery. And if they knew the evidence, they would not. Now, specifically, the title of this talk is Shroud of Turin, a rebuttal to the claims of Luigi Garlischelli. Does anyone know who Luigi Garlischelli is? Well, I don't think many people did until this week. He's got more than his 15 minutes of fame in this past week. Oh, thank you. Okay. Here are some of the news headlines that have appeared this past week. Shroud of Turin once again proven to be a fake. Italian scientist claims proof that the Shroud of Turin is a fake. Scientist recreates Turin shroud to show it's a fake. And scientists recreate Shroud of Turin. An Italian scientist has successfully reproduced the Shroud of Turin and claims that he didn't need the Son of God or a miracle to do it. Now, I'm going to read one of these articles in depth. These are just some of the headlines. I mean, if you have AOL or Yahoo News, people have been sending me links to this all week. Oh, well, you got to hear this. You're the Toss Shroud guy, and now see you're wrong. Okay. So, here's a poll that I think this poll appeared on all of them. Do you think the Shroud of Turin is a fake? 52% say yes, 48% say no. Scientists, this was from CNN, Richard Allen Green. Scientist recreates Turin shroud to show it's fake. An Italian scientist says he has reproduced one of the world's most famous Catholic relics, the Shroud of Turin, to support his belief it is a medieval fake, not the cloth Jesus was buried in. Luigi Garlischelli says his reproduction of the shroud disproves the claims of its strongest supporters. Luigi Garlischelli has created a copy of the shroud, wrapping a specially woven cloth over one of his students, painting it with pigment, baking it in an oven, which he called a shroud machine, for several hours, then washing it. His results look like the cloth that many Christians through the centuries have believed is the actual burial shroud of Jesus, he told CNN. What you have now is a very fuzzy, dusty, and weak image, he said. Then, for the sake of completeness, I have added the bloodstains, the burns, the scorching, because there was a fire in 1532. Garlischelli says his work disproves the claims of the shroud's strongest supporters. This is Mr. or Dr. Garlischelli here, and he actually posts for these pictures on the internet. Don't ask me why he has spoons attached to him. I have no idea. But anyway, this is his reproduction. And it looks pretty good. I mean, for those who are not students of the shroud, who aren't familiar with this image, you look at that and you go, well, that kind of, if you just had brief contact and you saw the shroud image and then you looked at this, you'd say, that's not bad. This is a negative of Garlischelli's image. Okay, he's got his name right there, so you know where it came from. All right? Now, this is interesting here. At the very end of the CNN article, they've got this little statement. The Vatican has not responded to Garlischelli's research, which was funded by the Union of Rationalists, Atheists, and Agnostics. So this is obviously unbiased research. He undertook the research, this is according to the article, he undertook the research out of personal interest, he said. As a hobby, I am interested in mysteries, and the Shroud of Turin is obviously a very mysterious object, he said. He described himself as a rationalist, but said he is not specifically anti-religious. All right, now here we have the actual shroud. This is the negative of the shroud image and a negative of Garlischelli's picture. Well, I shouldn't have said that because I was going to ask you, which one do you think is the shroud and which is the thing, and I messed that up. Now, do you see any differences between the two images?
The evidence of the crown of thorns.
Yeah, well, there's no crown of thorns. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And in fact, when I said this to the last audience, they got it right away, because if you know the Shroud of Turin, you know that there's the blood stains around the head, and so that doesn't count, though, because but thank you. Yeah, if you're familiar with the Shroud, you know right away which one is the Shroud and which one isn't. But it's a nice picture. I mean, it doesn't look bad, I have to say, but there are many aspects of this that clear. I mean, this is almost a cartoon. This is an arts and crafts project compared to the Shroud. One of the fascinating things about the shroud, and one of the reasons that it is a mystery, is because we know for a fact that the image was radiated onto the cloth. There was no direct contact. By direct contact, what that means, what Garlischelli did was he got somebody to lay down, he put the cloth over them, and he smeared iron oxide pigment on them. And then he washed the iron oxide off, and he baked the image, washed it, and voila, the iron oxide caused some oxidation of the cloth. And he said, see there's no pigment present on the cloth, the iron oxide caused residual changes in the cloth, and therefore, that's how the forger did it. He just sprinkled iron oxide on it, baked it, and voila. Well, not voila. He clearly demonstrates his ignorance. I mean, the fact that all these news agencies picked this story up blows me away. We've had other people come up with forgery hypotheses that were way better than this. This is so crude that it's laughable. Now take a look, for example, at the nose and the cheek. Notice that the nose comes out and it saturates right here. Compare that with the shroud, where you see a gradual falling off as the nose sinks back into the cheeks, and then the cheeks are gradually rounded. With the shroud image, the image intensity varies in direct relationship to how far a given body part was away from the cloth. That's why you see this roundedness. That's why you see this trailing effect as opposed to this cliff. It stops here and starts up here because this touched the cloth, this did not. Here, there is no image. You see all these black spots because it wasn't radiated on the cloth. It's like he painted it on the cloth. It doesn't come close to the shroud. So although in both you have, it's a figure with hair, eyes, nose, mouth, and beard, yeah, fine, okay, woo, you created that. A kindergartner could have created that. All right? It's not radiated. It's a direct contact method, and therefore this is a joke. Okay? And so what the problem I have is that the general public isn't aware of the nuances in this cloth. They look at this and they go, oh, scientists know what they're doing. Yeah, okay, right, okay, not always. Anyway, let me go on. Now, he claimed, it has three-dimensional properties just like the shroud. It does not have three-dimensional properties like the shroud. Here we have the shroud image. This is not a very good recreation because I have better pictures. Let's